Socrates is one of the most celebrated figures in history, renowned for his philosophical insights and his profound impact on Western thought. Despite his enduring influence, Socrates left behind no writings of his own. What we know of him comes primarily from the accounts of his contemporaries and followers, particularly Plato, Xenophon, and Aristophanes. Each offers a unique perspective, painting a composite picture of the man who changed the course of philosophy forever. Early life and background. Socrates was born in Athens in 469 BCE, during a time of cultural and intellectual flourishing known as the Golden Age of Greece. His father, Socrates, was a sculptor, and his mother, Phaenarete, a midwife. These humble origins set the stage for a life of simplicity and modesty, traits that would later define Socrates. Though little is known about his early years, Socrates initially followed in his father's footsteps, practicing sculpture. Some sources suggest he created a statue of the Graces that stood near the entrance of the Acropolis. However, his true calling lay not in shaping marble, but in shaping minds. Socratic philosophy and method. One of the most famous principles associated with Socrates is encapsulated in the phrase, "I know that I know nothing." This paradoxical statement reflects his belief in the importance of intellectual humility and the acknowledgement of one's own ignorance. The origins of this phrase are tied to a story involving the Oracle of Delphi. When asked by his friend Xenophon if there was anyone wiser than Socrates, the oracle replied that there was not. Puzzled by this declaration, Socrates embarked on a quest to understand the meaning of the god's words. Socrates sought out those reputed to be wise, politicians, poets, and craftsmen, and questioned them about their knowledge. What he discovered was that while they often believed themselves to be wise, their understanding was superficial or flawed. In contrast, Socrates recognized the limits of his own knowledge, which he concluded made him wiser. This realization became the foundation of his method, a dialectical process of questioning and dialogue. Known as the Socratic method, this approach involved asking probing questions to uncover contradictions and inconsistencies in his interlocutor's beliefs. By doing so, Socrates encouraged deeper reflection and critical thinking, leading individuals to a clearer understanding of the truth, or at least a recognition of their ignorance. He likened his role to that of a midwife, assisting in the birth of ideas and guiding others towards self-discovery. Personal life and traits. Socrates lived a life of remarkable simplicity, rejecting material wealth and societal conventions. He dressed plainly, often going barefoot, and was indifferent to physical comforts. His wife, Xanthippe, and their children lived modestly alongside him. While Xanthippe is sometimes portrayed as temperamental, Socrates reportedly regarded her spirited nature as a challenge that helped him cultivate patience and resilience. Despite his austere lifestyle, Socrates was a figure of great personal charisma. Accounts describe him as physically unremarkable, with a stocky build, bulbous nose, and protruding eyes. Yet, his keen intellect and compelling arguments drew followers from all walks of life, from wealthy young aristocrats like Plato to ordinary Athenians. Socrates was also known for his resilience and self-discipline. Plato's Symposium recounts how he could endure extreme cold, walk barefoot on icy ground, and drink heavily without becoming intoxicated. During the Peloponnesian War, he served as a hoplite and distinguished himself for his courage, saving the life of Alcibiades, a future political leader. Views on virtue and knowledge. For Socrates, the pursuit of virtue was the highest goal of human life. He believed that knowledge and virtue were inseparable. To know what is good is to do what is good. Evil, he argued, arises from ignorance. This idea formed the basis of his ethical philosophy, emphasizing self-knowledge and the cultivation of moral character. Unlike the sophists of his time, who charged fees for teaching rhetoric and persuasion, Socrates refused payment, insisting that his purpose was not to impart knowledge, but to encourage critical thinking and self-examination. His conversations often took place in public spaces, marketplaces, gymnasiums, and banquets, where he engaged people of all ages and social classes. Criticism and trial. Socrates' relentless questioning and critique of traditional values made him a controversial figure in Athens. While many admired him, others viewed him as a threat to the social order. His portrayal in Aristophanes' comedic play, The Clouds, reflects this tension. The play caricatures Socrates as a sophist and a corrupter of youth, lampooning his ideas and methods. In 399 BCE, Socrates was brought to trial on charges of impiety and corrupting the youth. His accusers claimed he rejected the gods of Athens and introduced new deities. During his defense, as recorded in Plato's Apology, Socrates argued that he was fulfilling a divine mission to challenge complacency and encourage moral reflection. He famously stated, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Despite his eloquence, Socrates was found guilty and sentenced to death by drinking hemlock. Plato's Phaedo describes his final moments, where Socrates faced his fate with calm dignity, discussing philosophical ideas with his friends until the poison took effect. Socrates' death marked the end of his life, but the beginning of his profound influence. His student Plato preserved and expanded upon his ideas, laying the groundwork for Western philosophy. Aristotle, Plato's student, further developed these ideas, creating a lineage of thought that continues to resonate. Beyond philosophy, Socrates' legacy lies in his approach to questioning and critical thinking. He taught that wisdom begins with acknowledging one's ignorance, and that the pursuit of truth requires humility, courage, and persistence. His life serves as a reminder of the importance of living authentically, examining one's beliefs, and striving for moral excellence. Socrates' journey was one of self-discovery and a relentless quest for truth. Though his contemporaries sentenced him to death, his ideas have transcended time, inspiring generations to question, reflect, and grow. Through his life and philosophy, Socrates challenges us to embrace intellectual humility, cultivate virtue, and seek wisdom in our daily lives.